Hi everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a topic that's close to my heart, especially during this time of year. We're talking about the impact of narcissism on holiday celebrations. And let me tell you, it's something we need to talk about. You know, the holidays are supposed to be a time for joy, for family, for togetherness. We deck the halls, we bake cookies, we sing carols, all with the anticipation of creating beautiful memories. But for some of us, the holidays can be a source of stress and anxiety, and that's often because of the presence of a narcissist in our lives. Now, I want to be clear. Narcissism is a complex personality disorder, and it's not something we should diagnose lightly. However, there are certain behaviors that can be indicative of narcissism, and these behaviors can really put a damper on the holiday spirit. Throughout this series, we're going to focus primarily on Christmas, as it tends to be a time when families come together and emotions run high. So if you've ever felt unseen, unheard, or emotionally drained during the holidays, there's a chance you've been impacted by narcissistic behavior. But here's the good news. You're not alone. And more importantly, there are ways to navigate these situations and protect your own well-being. We're going to explore all of that and more in this series. One of the hallmarks of narcissism is this overwhelming need to be the center of attention. And let me tell you, this need doesn't magically disappear during the holidays. In fact, it can become even more pronounced. You see, narcissists thrive on admiration and validation. They need to feel like they're the most important person in the room, even if it's Christmas Eve and everyone's gathered around the tree. Now think about it. What's Christmas really about? It's about celebrating the birth of Jesus, about giving, about spreading love and cheer. But for a narcissist, Christmas becomes just another opportunity to grab the spotlight. They might turn every conversation back to themselves, boasting about their accomplishments or their expensive gifts. And you know what? It's not just about talking. They might even go out of their way to create drama or cause a scene, just to ensure all eyes are on them. I remember one Christmas, a friend told me about her mother-in-law who threw a fit because the gravy wasn't made to her liking. Can you imagine? On Christmas Day, it's like they missed the entire point of the holiday. It's not about them. It's about something bigger than themselves. But that's the thing about narcissists. They often struggle to see beyond their own needs and desires. Now let's talk about gifts for a moment. Because for a narcissist, gift-giving isn't about showing love or appreciation. It's about one-upping everyone else and reinforcing their sense of superiority. They might shower someone with extravagant gifts, not out of genuine generosity, but to elicit praise and admiration. And you know what's worse? If you don't react with the appropriate level of awe and amazement, they might get offended or even angry. You might hear them say things like, "Don't you like it?" or "This is the best you could do." It's like they're keeping score, constantly trying to prove that they're the best gift giver, the most thoughtful, the most generous. But here's the truth. True generosity comes from the heart. It's not about impressing others or seeking validation. It's about giving something meaningful, something that comes from a place of love. And that's something a narcissist often struggles to understand. You see, what happens is that their self-centered behavior ends up overshadowing the joy and the true meaning of the holiday. Instead of feeling grateful for the time spent with loved ones, you're left feeling emotionally drained, unseen, and unheard. It's like you're walking on eggshells, trying not to upset them or trigger their need for attention. And that's not what the holidays should be about. The holidays should be a time for connection, for love, for creating happy memories. But when you have a narcissist in your midst, it can be hard to experience those things fully. Now let's talk about another tactic narcissists use to ruin holidays: creating drama. You see, for them, peace and harmony can be, well, a little boring. They thrive on chaos and conflict, and the holidays, with all their heightened emotions and family dynamics, provide the perfect breeding ground for drama. It might start subtly, a snide remark here, a backhanded compliment there. Just little things to stir the pot and create tension. You might notice that they're particularly skilled at pushing people's buttons, knowing exactly what to say to elicit a reaction. And then, when the inevitable conflict erupts, they often sit back and watch, almost amused by the chaos they've created. It's like they get a sense of satisfaction from seeing others upset or distressed. And let's not forget about their favorite tools, the silent treatment and the guilt trip. These are classic narcissistic maneuvers used to manipulate and control the situation. They might give you the silent treatment, refusing to speak to you for hours or even days, leaving you wondering what you did wrong. Or they might lay on the guilt trip, making you feel responsible for their unhappiness. You might hear them say things like, "You always do this," or "You never think about my feelings." It's a way for them to shift the blame and avoid taking any responsibility for their own actions. And you know what's really sad? They often turn the holidays into a stage for their own personal drama. They become the victim, the one who's been wronged, even if they were the ones who instigated the conflict in the first place. They might exaggerate their suffering, playing the martyr, all in an attempt to garner sympathy and attention. And the thing is, their need for drama can be contagious. It can suck everyone else into their vortex of chaos, creating a tense and unpleasant atmosphere for everyone involved. You know, we all have this picture in our minds, this vision of the perfect holiday. Maybe it's the warm glow of the fireplace, the smell of cinnamon and pine filling the air, everyone gathered around, laughing and sharing stories. It's a beautiful image, isn't it? And it's something we all long for, especially during the holidays. But here's the thing about narcissists. They cling to this perfect image with an iron grip. They have this idealized fantasy of how the holidays be. And let me tell you, it's often rooted in their own need for control and admiration, not genuine joy or connection. And because their expectations are so deeply out of touch with reality, so focused on this manufactured perfection, well, disappointment is inevitable. Now, imagine being on the receiving end of these unrealistic expectations. You're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to live up to an impossible standard. Every little detail, from the placement of the candles to the crispness of the tablecloth, becomes a potential landmine. You find yourself stressing over every decision, every action, terrified of saying or doing the wrong thing and shattering their fragile illusion. It's exhausting, isn't it? The constant pressure to perform, to deliver this flawless holiday experience. And you know what's worse? No matter how hard you try, it's never enough. You could move mountains to meet their demands, bend over backwards to accommodate their every whim, and it still wouldn't be enough to satisfy them. Because, you see, it's not really about the holidays for them. It's about control. It's about using these occasions as a stage to showcase their supposed superiority, their ability to orchestrate the perfect celebration. So what can you do when faced with these unrealistic expectations? How do you protect your own well-being and salvage the spirit of the holidays? Well, it starts with recognizing that you are not responsible for fulfilling someone else's fantasy. You are not responsible for managing their emotions, for shielding them from disappointment. You deserve to enjoy the holidays too, without the weight of their unrealistic expectations bearing down on you. It's about setting boundaries, about saying no to demands that drain your energy and steal your joy. It's about choosing to focus on what truly matters: genuine connection, shared moments of laughter and love, and creating your own definition of holiday happiness. Remember, you have the power to choose how you participate in the holidays. You have the power to protect your peace and prioritize your own well-being. And sometimes, that means letting go of the need to please the unpleasable and embracing the messy, imperfect, but ultimately beautiful reality of the holidays. You know, during the holidays, we all have those family members who always want to be in charge. They have this uncanny ability to orchestrate every single detail, turning the holidays into their own personal stage production. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, it goes beyond just being a control freak. Narcissists see the holidays as an opportunity to manipulate situations and people to fit their own needs and desires. This isn't about creating a joyful experience for everyone. It's about them being the center of attention and getting their way. They might use guilt trips, playing the victim, or even outright threats to make sure everyone falls in line. And if you dare to resist their carefully crafted holiday plans, well, honey, you better be ready for a whole lot of drama. Let me tell you something. Narcissists are masters at using guilt as a weapon. They know how important family is, especially during the holidays. And they won't hesitate to exploit that love and loyalty to get what they want. Maybe you decided to spend Thanksgiving with your partner's family this year, or perhaps you declined their invitation to a holiday party because you needed some quiet time. For a narcissist, any deviation from their plan is a personal attack. Get ready for the waterworks, the guilt trips, the silent treatment, you name it. They'll pull out all the stops to make you feel like you've committed the ultimate betrayal. And let me tell you, it can be incredibly draining to deal with. The worst part about this manipulation is that it creates this atmosphere of tension and anxiety. You're constantly walking on eggshells, afraid to say or do anything that might set them off. Instead of experiencing the joy and love that should define the holiday season, you're left feeling stressed, resentful, and emotionally exhausted. It's like the holidays become this minefield of emotional triggers, and you're just trying to navigate your way through without getting blown up. Remember, you deserve to enjoy the holidays without being manipulated or controlled. Your feelings are valid, and it's not your responsibility to constantly cater to the needs of a narcissist. Now, we all know that the holidays are a time for giving, for spreading joy and cheer. But for a narcissist, the holidays are really just another opportunity to receive. They lack the empathy to understand the needs and feelings of others, and this can make the holidays feel incredibly isolating and empty. It's like they're so focused on themselves, on their own needs and desires, that they completely miss the point of the holidays. It becomes a one-sided exchange, with them taking and taking without ever truly giving back. You might find yourself going above and beyond to make them happy, to create a perfect holiday experience, but it's never enough. They'll always find something to criticize, something to complain about. Section 3. Unseen and unappreciated. This lack of empathy can be incredibly painful, especially if you're in a close relationship with a narcissist. It can make you feel invisible, like your feelings and needs don't matter. You're left feeling emotionally drained and unappreciated. Remember, you deserve to be surrounded by people who value and appreciate you, especially during the holidays. We've covered a lot of ground today, talking about the ways narcissists can impact the holiday season. From their self-centered behavior and need for control to their lack of empathy and tendency to create drama, dealing with a narcissist during the holidays can be emotionally draining. But here's the good news. You don't have to let them ruin your holidays. By setting boundaries, managing your expectations, and practicing self-care, you can protect your peace and enjoy the holiday season. Remember, it's okay to say no to unreasonable demands, to prioritize your own well-being, and to seek support from loved ones. And if you're struggling, know that you're not alone. Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's create a community of support and understanding, because everyone deserves to experience the joy and magic of the holiday season.